Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. My name is Cornshack, and today I am on this channel doing a special Christmas video. My main channel is youtube.com/cornshackgaming, and on my channel I do a series of videos called Play It Throughs, and that's a classic series of walkthrough type videos. While still Let's Plays, they mainly focus on helping people walk through games. Now today I'm doing a special Mega Man themed game, which is one of my specialties, is Mega Man. Every March I do a series of Mega Man games, and I've done almost every single Mega Man game that's come out. I've done Mega Man's 1 through 10, I've done Mega Man Legends, I've done Mega Man X1 through X4, Mega Man and Base, a bunch of the Mega Man Game Boy games. Mega Man is one of my absolute favorite franchises. And now this is a fan-made, Christmas-themed Mega Man game. It's called Mega Man's Christmas Carol Remix. And basically this was made as a Flash game back in 2010. They made a sequel to it. The creator of the game made a sequel to it in 2011, Mega Man's Christmas Carol 2. That was an actual EXE executable Windows game. He then used that same engine to make this game, which is a remade version of the original game. Basically, in classic Mega Man style, you're fighting robot masters, and then you have to fight a big boss. There's no levels in the game, it's just the boss fights themselves, but they're still extremely well done. Some great animation, some really cool concepts. You're basically, as the title says, Christmas Carol. You're basically playing through a Charles Dickens Christmas Carol, the famous story of Scrooge, and how he was visited by many ghosts. And that's the main robot masters you're going to be fighting, the ghosts of Christmas past, present, future, and including also Scrooge's partner, Jacob Marley. Now, you actually can play this as Mega Man, Base, or Proto Man, and they each have their own unique abilities, of course, just like they did in Mega Man 9 and Mega Man 10. There's also multiple different difficulties for you to play through, and we're going to be playing though on the normal difficulty, which is, trust me, is tough enough. I actually haven't even been able to beat the final boss yet. Which is kind of a risk going in here without ever beating the final boss, but I think I'm getting the hang of it a little bit, maybe just a tiny bit. Anyway, I'm going to do my absolute best to try to get through the final boss here today. And of course, when you start the game, you can enter your name. Of course, my name's Cornshack, and I can play, like I said, as Mega Man, Base, or Proto Man. I'm going to be playing as Mega Man. Like I said, also multiple different difficulties, which I love when you select Death. Different music starts up, and it's basically the absolute hardest difficulty possible. I can't imagine. I'm having enough problem with the normal difficulty. Anyway, you have 4 robot masters to pick from. Jacob Marley, the Ghost of Christmas Past, Present, and Future. We're going to be starting with Jacob Marley, who uses his ball and chain, which is famously on the Ghost version of himself, and he uses that to block your attacks, as well as, of course, swing it around, throw it at you, do all kinds of damage to you. Now, unfortunately, we can't get up there to get that E-Tank, which would be very nice if we were able to do so. But we can get a couple E-Tanks as we go through, and they're very crucial, especially if we're going to be able to get past the final boss here. Jacob Marley starts off by running back and forth. He'll then throw out the mace ball, and then start jumping at you. He'll jump about 4 times, and then swing the mace ball all around. He'll then repeat the pattern. Usually I try to get away here, then get some good attacks in, jump over, repeat the attacks, and finish them off there. The easiest of the robot masters, and I love the special effect of having in the background the gravestones, including the one for Jacob rising after you defeat him. Really cool effect there. After defeating Jacob Marley, we get actually his shackle in order to use that against other robot masters, and we're going to be using it right away on the Ghost of Christmas Past. After also getting the Robot Master's weapon, you also then get to see your score rack up, which is something we never see in normal Mega Man games with the exception of the original Mega Man 1. Now we're going to be going over to the Ghost of Christmas Past. Now this guy uses actually old robot masters in order to fight you, which is really cool. He doesn't have any of his attacks on his own, but he uses the other robot masters to help him out. We're going to grab this Wily tank here, weapon tank here, in order to help us out, the Super W tank. I'm going to switch over to the Shackle. Really cool stuff. You can check out all the Robot Masters are in the background. Now, in his fight, he summons Robot Masters, as well as the ones that are the statues in the background come to life. You can also see other classic enemies, including the Dragon from Mega Man 2 in the background as well. He can summon Flame Man, Snake Man, I think Bubble Man, and a few others. In the background, you can see, actually, Heat Man, Toad Man, there's Plant Man there, and he also can summon Nitro Man from Mega Man 10. Now, he ends up summoning Volt Man there. Now, if you don't know who that is, doesn't recognize him, he actually is from the Mega Man DOS game, of all things. Now, there actually is 2 Mega Man DOS games, and I can't remember which one he is actually from, and I apologize. But they were made by a third-party company, not Capcom, and you can check out, there's videos on my channel if you're interested. I played through both Mega Man DOS games, and they are very unique games, to say the least. They were programmed only by a couple of people, and it definitely you can tell, because unfortunately the gameplay isn't very good. After racking up our score, we'll now go to the Ghost of Christmas Present. Now, this is a big hulking guy. He uses bombs from the sky to take you out, as well as he can throw out a present at you that will explode when you get near it. Now, you end up getting the present from him as your weapon. Now, we're going to start off first by using the Shackle to grab this E-Tank, then switch over to the past minion. And I'm going to use Skullman. He's my favorite of the ones you can summon here for this fight alone. Basically, I'll summon him on the left side here. He'll start firing, and then you'll have to just dodge the Ghost of Christmas Present's, all his bomb attacks, as well as the presents he'll drop out. Overall, not a very tough fight, especially with the minions. It's definitely a little bit tougher without having a partner with you, because you have to use the Mega Buster, and he's a little bit resilient to the Mega Buster, so it takes a lot of shots in order to deplete his health. For defeating the Ghost of Christmas Present, you get the Neo Present Surprise, which is an explosive present that you can actually kick in the walls at enemies. You can actually jump on it also to boost up for higher places, which we'll be doing actually at the very beginning of the next area. We now move on to the Ghost of Christmas Future, and just like he's represented in Dickens' Christmas Carol, he's actually a Grim Reaper, and he uses scythes as his main weapon. The really cool thing about this fight, though, you actually have a countdown timer for the fight itself. And with the countdown timer, you actually have to survive his wave of attacks, and once the timer goes out, he'll actually move low enough on screen for you to fight him. So this ends up being a really, really tough fight. The only thing really cool is I can use the minion to help me out here. The minion will stay on screen and destroy a bunch of the scythes that will end up spawning. He won't destroy them all, of course, but sometimes the scythes that you end up destroying will sometimes drop items. Of course, I'm going to end up having to use an E-Tank here, which I don't want to use, but oh well, I'll have to use it here. When you actually defeat him, he burns up, and it actually reminds me of Castlevania for Castlevania 3 for the NES. When you defeat an enemy or a boss, he ends up turning into fire, and then ends up making kind of that screaming sound. So kind of cool that they included that. Now you end up getting the future scythe as your weapon here. Really cool overall weapon that we'll be using actually on the next boss. Now after defeating the 4 robot masters, you move on to the final 2 levels of the game, and you have to do a battle against 2 robots that are giant tanks. But it's really cool, another homage to another classic Christmas special. Now I actually want to check out to see, unfortunately we can't go back to any of the other levels and grab any of the items we missed. So I can't go back and get that extra E-tank, which would definitely come in handy for sure. But I'm going to do my best to get through this and keep that 1 E-tank for the final boss himself. Now we go to Misery Hall, and Misery Hall has one other enemy besides the bosses, and we'll be using Christmas present surprise to try to take this guy out here. There we go. You have to actually open up the floor in order to get down. Now we'll drop down, have the scythe already equipped and ready to go, and now we battle the Snow Miser and the Heat Miser robots. The Snow Miser will fire out, of course, ice moves, including ice that will move across the ground when he throws it out, as well as giant snowballs as well that will bounce all around the screen. Now dodging the snowballs is not too bad, but he also fires out a projectile when he does so. After taking out his health, we're going to switch over to the Shackle and get ready for the Heat Miser, who attacks you from the opposite side of the screen. Now he causes fire to rain down from the sky, as well as giant fire blasts to come out as well. Once you're able to defeat both of them though, we move on to the final level of the game. Like I said, I really do like the music and all around, not only the combined Mega Man music, but also the classic Christmas songs that are remixed and used as well. I think are really well done. The people that made this game really put a lot of heart into it, you can definitely tell. And now these games are free, of course, so you can always check out their website and download them. Just search Mega Man Christmas Carol into Google, and I'm sure it'll pop right up as the first #1 link. Now this boss fight is extremely hard. It's 2 fights in one. No surprise, right? The first one is 2 giant firing machines on the left and right walls, and you have to use the Christmas present, which would be good if I had it equipped. Once you've defeated him though, it's time to move on to the actual final boss, and this guy is tough. He starts off with firing machine gun ammo at you, three shots of machine gun fire. He then summons 2 little tanks that end up spawning and trying to run you over. Then a giant fist will come flying from the side of the screen. You have to jump on the giant fist, get up in the air, and blast him in the head. He then repeats the process over again. This definitely reminds me of Sigma's fight from the first original Mega Man X. After you've hit him a couple of times though, the bottom jaw of Santa will end up blowing up. And then you'll have to actually attack him again now with a giant blast that ends up hitting you. And this is when things get even tougher. Unfortunately though, I forgot that the hand will actually come in from that side. So we'll have to redo that fight. Not too bad though. Thankfully you have infinite lives here. And you get all your weapons back after you do lose a life. I was trying. I did actually really well, surprisingly. I was surprised I actually did as well as I did. Of course, this time I won't do nearly as well. I'm already dead, so I'm just gonna end up killing myself here. Unfortunately, like I said, it's not an easy game. Also, a little awkward with the controls. I'm using, I have to use X and Z for the thing, and I'm not used to playing Mega Man with a keyboard. I should have definitely hooked up like an actual controller to help me out here, but... Now that we destroyed both of them, get ready for the actual final boss. Now, I don't know if he actually has a weakness, unfortunately. If he does have a weakness, I don't know what it is, and I found that using the Mega Buster was the most effective. Unfortunately, there's spikes on the hand. They're instant death, as we found out last time. Which is what makes this fight so difficult. Unfortunately, I was stupid and didn't run back there. Come on, we can do this. Wait for the right time. Jump up. There goes the jaw. Now he's going to do a charge-up shot here. That's fine, he can hit us. Get up here, and we should be able to finish him off with one last blast to the head. And there he goes. We defeat the giant Mecha Santa and complete Mega Man Christmas Carol Remax. Now you can sit back and enjoy the ending. You can see everyone else's high score. Still cool stuff. We unlock Christmas's saved achievement for doing so. The Zeme actually has a pretty large achievement system as well. Funny little joke there. Of course, that is all that's available is the boss room, so it's kind of a funny little thing there. There is no moral. Dr. Light is an arse. So there you go. There's your ending. A-Spark is the creator of the game and did a fantastic job with this. Definitely check out this game as well as Mega Man Christmas Carol 2, which I'll be doing probably at some point on my own channel at some point in the future. Great music overall. Just overall fantastic stuff. I hope you enjoyed this game. Like I said, of course, you guys know, my name is Cornchak. You can check out all my videos. I have over 1,000 videos on my channel currently. I do first plays, which are, of course, common let's plays of current games. I do play it throughs, which are my classic walkthroughs, usually done with as much skill and love as possible into them. Usually spending weeks, months at a time practicing a game before I'm able to get a run of it that I'm happy with, that I end up putting up for you guys to watch. I also do vlogs from time to time, unboxings, and I do a series of videos called DOS Time where I play old DOS games. So there you have it, there's a game over, and then it goes back to the title screen. You can start the game all over again, but that's going to wrap up this edition of Play It Through. I'd like to thank you for watching, and of course, I hope you enjoy.